Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is episode 821.4. Hopefully, you guys have had a great day, great start to your week. Not a bad one myself, Mr. Smiley's Gardens coming in. There we go. Cheers. Got their sound for that. There we go. Almost everything's in place now. Turn that mic up. There we go. What's up, Craig babies? Doctor? How you guys doing this fine evening? There we go. What's up, Jay? Chat's out. What's up, Ty? Top chat to live chat, please. DLP2372. There we go. What are you guys smoking on? Mr. Smiley's Garden slowly entering the building. What's up, Joe Carter? How you been? Long time. Mr. Westport, how you doing? I am smoking this sissy stick. What's up, ICD?
What up, man?
What's man? How you doing?
Dude, Monday.
You came in all ominous and shit.
Well, ominous? What do you mean?
Your fans preceded you.
Oh, yeah?
Here was, oh. It sounded like a growl before you.
My bad. I was taking care of business before getting on camera.
How's your day?
My day was shit, dude. My weekend was alright. We got some shit done. So, nice weekend. My day was a fucking Monday, though. And,
Jeff Case of the Mondays.
yeah. Good.
That's my favorite part of that office space there, the Mondays. Anybody ever asked you if Jeff Case of the Mondays? Remember the reply to that? Nah. Fuck nah. I believe you get your ass kicked for something like that. Remember that part of the movie? That movie's fucking.
It's funny, though.
One of my favorite stoner classics right there. I bet you have seen it 100 times.
What is it? Office Space?
Yeah. What's your favorite fucking been smoking video movie? Do you have a favorite smoking movie?
I don't know about favorite, but I guess one that comes to mind that I laugh my ass off is like Tommy Boy and shit like that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Whole fat guy with a boat and shit.
For a long time, I think Happy Gilmore had a special place with me, man. When that first came out, oof, I watched the shit out of that movie.
Yeah, did you go to the batting cage and fucking...
No, I didn't.
Some bitches to the fucking chest and shit.
I did not, but that would have been funny. Then I think Will Ferrell slipped in there and became one of my top favorites right there. I can watch a lot of his fucking movies over and over,
Yeah,
too.
Old School is fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's a good one.
Talladega Nights, man. I've watched that one quite a few times, too. Old School is pretty good, though.
My boy Blue.
That whole movie's awesome. Frank, I remember Frank the Tank. That was Will Ferrell in that movie.
I remember just dude, like side hurt laughing when the first time I seen that Old School and he takes the shot to the jugular. And they just like rewinding it and like can't watch the movie no more. We were laughing so hard, dude. And you just felt, dude. You just took a shot to the jugular, man.
Yeah, the animal keeper all excited. I've never seen that, dude. Yeah, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I was talking about fucking old Talladega Nights last night. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. What am I to do, Chip? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Grandma's Boys, another good fucking stoner comedy. At least for me.
It's all the stupid shit comedies.
Yeah, I enjoy a lowbrow comedy every so often, if you will, or whatever, stoner comedy.
Oh, I love comedies. Definitely my favorite.
Comedy or good suspense, but not a horror. I'm not a horror fan. Suspense is awesome. Comedy first, suspense second, documentary. I think that's how my entertainment rolls right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like YouTube.
Yeah. I'm there as well.
But a lot of that's like documentary shit too.
Me too.
Yeah, it's harvesting. It's time to flip the room. It's always an exciting time. Feel a breather in the bedroom. Everything's overgrown. So I need some relief there. It's gonna be good. I do think the
I fucking
faster though. I think so. We're finishing a week faster with the 12-1 lights or whatever.
I don't think there will be as big as of a Michigan outdoor harvest as we've had in previous years. I just don't think as many people took the time to throw shit outdoors this year.
Really?
Yeah. I'll smell it, man. Usually this time of year, man, you can fucking damn near smell it everywhere you go. I'm not getting that impression so far this year.
I mean, I know a few
Could be
people
wrong.
who are growing, but outdoor, but not really like on a level, you know.
Well, there for a while, everybody grew it. They was so plentiful. Outdoor almost killed the indoor market there for a while.
Yeah, until people realize the difference. Oh, did I say that out loud? Froze. Your ego froze. This just sucks with two of us, so my chat's still going, so it must have been ego froze.
Well, my chat's still rolling too. I mean, I'll call that one a draw. I was one.
Figure out who was froze. Chat will tell us in a second who was froze.
Right. Stinky this way, Brett says.
Right when it froze or whatever, I was saying the people bought the outdoor until they realized that the indoor was better.
The indoor is better. I think I'm an indoor guy.
It's definitely pretty.
The outdoor is more complex, but I don't know. The indoors just got that love. Hopefully got that love.
I got some out there though. A lot of mine's seeded up. No, or hopefully, I guess.
How many do you have? How many crosses do you have all together now? A few. There's a lot. You have a few these days.
I'm just trying to think, man. It's got to be around 45.
Nice.
But not all of them are released or whatever.
Right.
Not actually. I was just thinking of the males. Like, there's probably more than that. But this year I'm doing outdoors, like finishing up some of the purple punch back cross. Probably getting a cross on that. And, I'm using the male to hit Platinum Cake and Ghost OG. Should be some cool crosses there.
We've talked about like Purple Punch being the backbone of a lot of crosses. What necessarily made you want to breed with it? And I guess what have you seen it bring out in some of the crosses you've bred with it?
The reason I wanted to is because this thing's got the mom I have has like a great big league chew kind of flavor to it. It's got that old school kind of purple flavor, artificial grape flavor. So that was what made me. But it's Granddaddy Perp times Larry OG. So it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's fire times fire. Like even going back to the Ghost OG is kind of like bringing it back on that OG side or whatever. But yeah, I mean, a lot of strains have been mothered by the Purple Punch. A lot of killer strains. So. And what I see from it is a tighter frosty nug and some of the what I've been working on in the back cross is carrying that flavor in the purple frosty nug. But I haven't done a ton of work really outside of that as far as like the back cross project. But then I'm using the male, you know what I mean? So like I got a BX2 male, so that's been 3 years worth of work to get to that male to use that on the Ghost OG.
So when you think of perp, you think grape. For some reason, when I think of perp, I think more of like a floral, a deep floral kind of taste to it, not necessarily grape.
I think the artificial grape, great big league chew.
You're lucky.
Purple Laffy Taffy or something.
Sounds delicious. Sounds good, anyways.
I know I'm running out of everything right now. So need my harvest to dry. Need it herbs now.
You'd be sold. Shit, I'd like to actually see you run one to see what your actual, your opinion is after, running one. It's easy to speculate, but until you've actually, used it once or twice. Even at that, I wouldn't think that one or two times is a fair assessment because, what I learned about mine was, there was a little bit of, tips and tricks. You got to learn your environment. It didn't necessarily take the 72 hours that he said. It could be, plus or minus depending on conditions. Flipping the racks, extra full. There's little ways you could manipulate and different ways to dry in that thing, but it took a couple of runs to figure out what worked best for me and in my environment. But once I had that recipe, I loved that fucking thing. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wasn't going back to hanging. I said that a lot of times. I'd rather have that room to grow weed in Especially like in your situation now. You're in that kind of situation. You want to risk dry room for fucking grow room? No. That's valuable space now. If you can put all that into, you know what I mean? A
Wait, are you
fraction of
selling me one now or what?
uh-huh.
Wait, are you selling me one now or what?
No. We're just talking. This strictly conversation. I'd lend you mine if you want to try it out, Phil.
I don't know, man. I've never really try it, whatever. I'm not against it. I'm not arguing against it. I get it. It's useful for situations. So.
I think you'd be pleasantly surprised and you'd be a fan. I bet you just as I did, it would be one of those things you'd be like, this is all my stash now. And this works for me. You know what I mean? I think you would quickly change over that dry space to back to grow space. 100% after one or two uses. I'm convinced. Convinced. Hmm.
I don't think it'd be grow space unless I put like the vegetables or something in there. Which I'm gonna have to figure something out because I don't have room to start all my vegetables and keep them nice.
He said, "Are you selling me one?" No, I'm not selling them. Just walked into a surprise infomercial and shit.
I thought it was like a segue to like, well, if you were gonna buy one, you could get 15% off if you use.
Too funny.
What's the code again? I don't remember. It still works, right?
I don't know. It may. I haven't even. I wish Scott the best.
They still doing it?
Yeah, yeah. I talked to him. He's wanted to come make a reappearance a few times. I got much like respect for Scott.
Yeah.
Keep him alive. That wasn't an easy thing to do, man. I respect anybody that's chasing their dreams like that, and to chase it as passionately as he did. A lot of respect for that, and then to prevail through a shitty time, make it. I mean, any business that was starting out at the beginning of fucking COVID, 80% didn't make it through. So to see him, go against the doubts, you know what I mean? The troubles of starting up a startup, dealing with people overseas and getting that shit off over here. Fucking tons of respect and props, man. Fucking,
That's a lot of work.
yeah, that's the dream right there. I wish him the best, and I do stand by that machine. You know what I mean? It's just from my experience, and the other people that's used it has plus minuses, but whatever. It worked well for me, and I will continue to use it the next time I have a need to use it. That's for sure. It does not dry bacon, Nico. You dry anything but bacon in there. That's what I need. I think it's funny that's his lead in though. In that chat, I love bacon. Just announce it right off the bat.
It's good to know. It's good info.
Yeah. I think he shares a passion with a lot of people. Bacon is delicious. Unhealthy, but delicious.
Yeah. Just the nitrate shit's unhealthy. Get a good, fresh cut bacon or the preservatives or whatever.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Why don't we we eat more fresh foods? Why did we let the big boxes kill the butcher markets, the butcher store?
Convenience, man. That's what everything's been. To make life more convenient so we can be busier working. I mean, really, right? Like, well, we all can grow tomatoes, but you go to the store to buy them.
Yeah,
It's time,
convenient.
effort, and energy. Costs a little bit of money. It's not a free thing necessarily. It's nice and neat and tidy.
Look what convenience has done for us, though. I mean, it's taking the minerals and all the good shit right out of the food across the board, from the meat to the fucking vegetables to the fruit, man. Well, the
Yeah,
quickness.
no, I'm a big fan of the like localized idea, like Joel Salatin talks about, like having smaller farms more localized to different communities versus trying to have a mega cattle farm in Nebraska and then fucking ship everything everywhere. You know what I mean? Where you have, instead of one big cattle farm with 200,000 heads of cattle, you have 200 smaller farms with 200 heads of cattle.
Yeah, well, that's all good and great too, but that supports our local economy. But how do we get them on board with doing what's right? You know what I mean? How do we undo what we've done? That's the problem. The ground, as we talked about, yeah, organics and all that, but the ground's fucked, man. Some of the shit that's in the ground now are forever chemicals. We were talking about that with, Nick's problem there with residuals and that shit. And I've seen that and heard that with like meat farms around Michigan and the shit that they're eating from, the corn that's been grown in that ground's already being transferred over into the meats, it's already being found in the shit. So how do we like, even though we want to buy local and shit like that, I mean, short of like starting on farm ground, we've got some work to do to still fix the food we eat, even if we buy it local. I
Yeah,
mean,
if we remediate some stuff. I don't know.
how
A good answer.
is impact if, like, say, we took a good sized farm and started implementing organic, practices and shit like that? I mean, realistically, how many years before we would consistently see, you know, good shit back into the harvest? Would it, I'm sure that first year we'd see some improvement, but it would have, like everything you needed. I mean, would it still have the good shit, or would it take years and years of repetitive, you know, to, to get it all back?
I don't know. Yeah, some of that stuff, like you say, forever is there. I don't know. I'm not sure the answer on all that. It's yeah, it's obviously a problem. A good place to start would be to stop spraying all the shit. But you gotta have answers on how you're gonna farm without it too, and you're all dependent on the shit. So yeah, it's an easy problem to solve. I think we do a lot of stupid shit in agriculture though, wasteful shit, like growing corn for ethanol, like that's wasteful. There's other shit too, but not up on it all. I should. I've thought of that, like agronomy could be like a second career or something. But
I've been watching a little bit of. I need to finish both excuse me, both documentaries. One was about wheat and one was about sugar, but they both led back to the same place, fucking sugar. They're talking about how, the wheat itself's fucked up. We've kind of over time and just breeding the bad shit and good shit out of the product itself. It isn't just the ground like we're talking about. It's the product that we put forth, the wheat that's been bred out and that we use today isn't worth a shit. Doesn't have, the chaff, the chaff alone. And they said in wheat, it used to be a pretty high chaff plant when they harvested, and that used to be used for all kinds of shit around the farm beddings, food, livestock, yeah. But it added nutrients to the whole process of making the chaff, you know, added nutrient value to the plant. Now that they've made a plant that doesn't have as much, they've already there alone took a lot of the good shit out of the fucking wheat. You know what I mean? Just for less of mess sake. You know what I mean? I don't know. That one was a documentary on seeds. Which was pretty cool. I'm like halfway through like fucking 3 documentaries right now. I've been like watching like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good one. Start firing up that doobie before I go to bed and make it through like half of it. And just having I went back and finished off the last few. But yeah, I thought it was kind of neat the way they were talking about, even though they had a vault that every 10 years they said they were growing out the seeds and breeding out new stock and storing that, keep it as vital as possible,
as usable as possible. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I was watching a deal on like DNA and the different variations that can be in like a population, and how there's a lot more control within the DNA and within the DNA coding to control those changes that are happening versus the idea that they're actually random changes in the DNA coding. So that was pretty interesting. So the code controls its own coding, basically, and it responds to the environment, which we all know. I mean, right? We've talked about that. Like you go from one room to another room, and it'll be different plant, it can be. That's basically its response to the environment, turning on different traits versus other ones, turning off other ones, different things. But it's all controlled within that whole DNA. Like it's not necessarily a mutation like we always thought of it as.
Yeah, I think that's I've talked a little bit about that. I don't know if you kind of remember, but that's why I've always kind of leaned back towards the importance of outdoor breeding for cannabis. I'm super afraid that the repetitive indoor breeding of cannabis, we are headed to a banana type event to where we're going to breed it indoors, then the slightest virus is going to be, you know what I mean, work its way in, and it's not going to be able to defend itself because it's not going to have that diverse DNA chain that you're talking about. I really believe that that's how it's building that defense system, that toolbox. Is every year, you know what I mean? It starts out with its own toolbox, and as it's bred out per season, it knows. This year was dry as fuck. You know what I mean? So here, next year, I'm going to do my best to put forth, the tools for you to make it through, a more fucking you're going to be more drought resistant next year. Here's the tools for drought resistance next year. And then that gets added to the toolbox. Well, then next year, say we have fucking windy fucking year. Now it's fucking the tools for next year. It's like, oh, fuck, man. Wind busted us up all this year. We're fucking bitches. We were bitches this year. Couldn't hold ourselves up. So next year, we need to be stronger plants. We need to fucking be more woody. You know what I mean? So that's added to the toolbox. But this breeding that we're doing indoors, where we're babying it. There's no fucking barely winds. It's all the same conditions. It ain't gonna fight off. We're doing our best to keep out all the pressures, and you know what I mean. So it's not seeing none of that shit. So I don't know. What's your thoughts? Is like crazy talk there? Or can we successfully keep breeding indoors and not see no major bumps?
I think you would see. I think you would see where traits would be turned off or something like that, where you wouldn't see the expression. You'd see a different expression outdoor than you do indoor. And I think continued breeding indoor would allow that selection to be based on what's good under the indoor light. Which, if you took that same group of plants and you were selecting outdoor, you may have picked a totally different one. So I think there's going to be a variation like that for sure. Just because the plants are going to respond different to each environment. But I don't think the traits are added on or taken away. I think they're always there. They just are like switched off. So if they're all switched off in your selection process, then you don't even know what you're selecting may or may not have.
So you don't think none of them will fall off? None of those traits fall off because the plant thinks no longer we're needed. I mean, what you're saying somewhat true. I mean, look at our DNA chain. How much scientists look at it and think there's junk DNA. You know what I mean? There is that just the same thing. It's hidden tools in the toolbox. We just
That's what they're learning more and more about is that what they call junk DNA is actually the DNA that's controlling the coding of what's being made into proteins. And it's all super complex, but I mean, basically, there's codons, there's links of the DNA that are like stop codes. So there's certain ones that get read, but the equivalent is like to think of it as like a language that can be read forward, backwards, any which way you want. Like, and it'll be a different thing each time. And it's very interesting to me how that can take place. So like when we talk about like incomplete proteins, they're like a protein has to form exactly and have its own fold to be a perfect tool because it does a job. It's like a wrench. And if it doesn't have all the pieces there to make it, it's going to be incomplete. And that's what nutrient deficiencies will drive is incomplete production of something because it's still trying to produce it. It's just, I didn't have all the tools to put it all together, boss. This is what we got. And then you get these incomplete proteins floating around, and that, I think, is what they talk about, what attracts the bugs or whatever, the insects and the pests. So, like, nutrient deficiencies can cause a lot of them problems, too. Or if a plant has all the tools in the toolbox, like you said, the genetics should be there, the DNA should be there.
There's a lot of science to that shit, and that's a lot of science being applied to cannabis like that right now. We put so much thought into, additives to make our cannabis as best as it could possibly be. You know what I mean? But we don't necessarily think how, small deficiencies, as we're talking about, can make the plant stress and produce other chemicals that may be, what we're looking for and not know it. You know what I mean? Stress, whatever, you know what I mean? Nutrient deficiencies, dry back type situations where the plant's just starving and using its own kind of bullshit, Who knows, I think the answer isn't always additives. Sometimes, as our bodies, as we go through not eating phases there and our body starts producing different hormones that are good for us, maybe it might work the same with cannabises too. Deficiency may be a plus thing in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, In my personal experience, the ones that I've thought like faded out too fast, like my last few rounds have been like this last harvest. I mean, it would gum up my grinder like hardcore. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember a harvest like that gumming up my grinder like that. And it's super stony and like flavorful. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I have seen some
stuff
studies
like
of
it.
that. I mean, I'm not talking completely out of my ass here. Most of these studies were coming from the UK, but they were talking about like how, in in first instance, mass PM made the plant produce different chemicals that they saw fit for certain. Now they weren't talking necessarily about like say harvesting the plant for the plant like we used it. They're like breaking it down by molecule, if you will. Okay, now we put PM all over the plant, and now it's overproducing this hormone. Now we're trying to, that's the hormone that we're trying to fucking harvest, basically, or the molecule. And that's what they were finding that, putting the plant in there. That was one instance they had found that, and again, this was like 5 years ago. I watched this documentary that they were saying that, okay, there was medical benefits from the plant from that, but not using the plant for smokable purposes. Da, da, da. They're breaking it down chemically, and also they were like saying like bug infestations and stuff like that. They had seen the plant because it was partly infected in certain areas, producing chemicals, terpenes, yada yada, that turned out to be off the charts, which they wouldn't have been able to achieve through normal feedings and shit like that. It was just the plant just literally fucking fight for its life and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and like you say too, like a response like that. So like plants, from some of the stuff I've heard, like people talk about, is like plants can respond to terpenes from getting attacked. So yeah, I mean, bugs on there, increase. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. Testing would be the key, but I don't. Who's gonna be like, I'm gonna test my harvest of fucking aphids to see what that's. You know what I mean? Like,
That's the scientific level of it, but that's what cannabis is going to be sooner or later. I mean, it's not going to be always the way
yeah,
we
it's gonna be
run.
a week 6. Introduce spider mites and aphids.
Smoking it? You know what I mean? Did you try smoking it? You try rubbing it on? And then scientists are going to be like, no, if you strip everything away, there's that. You know what I mean? They're already getting like that. Fucking Brown Guy 420 has been breaking it down molecule by molecule and, doing work like that already.
That's the
So
reductionist mindset, yeah, for sure. Reduce it down, reduce it down. That's where it's cool with Ethan Russo talking about like the entourage effect and the need for having, you can't just have this THC molecule. You need all this entourage of chemistry there.
I'm already seeing it. At least we talked about this a little bit, and I'm seeing it more and more. And see, I giggled today. I think it was today or yesterday. I was in a smoke shop. I'll leave it nameless for whatever purposes. But on the counter there in the little glass case, they had fucking THCA pre-rolls. And I thought to myself, what is that? A bunch of pre-me weed? I mean, where did we get no? Where's the A coming from? No THC. We didn't let it get that far. You know what I mean? Is that just again weed harvested for hash that's multi-purposed because it's met the terpene profile, it's the clear check. Oh, this is perfect for diamonds. If you let it sit around.
Probably. Jessica was just talking about at the smoke shop. They had something they were selling there that was HHC or something. Like, what the fuck? Oh no, it's the same thing. THC, or yeah. Then why is it HHC?
glasswork and chance and THC from hemp. But then again, are these are all different highs that, are just straight up A? That sounds, to me, what I've always heard from A is like, that's the more heady side, right? That's what we've always been. If you want the more, heady side of your buzz, harvest early when you have cleared trichomes, clear to cloudy. And if you want that more laid back buzz, then you're going to go from cloudy to more amber. So, so I would assume the A side of things is automatically heady, 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 heady. Any other time when I see it, same thing with the in the strain. I see that side, the A side, doing most of the work. THC maybe kind of carrying it. The A side's up. THC's kind of carrying it or doing the work, keeping it in your system. Longevity of the high, I'd say, but continuous, like joint after joint after joint, up, 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 without, is like, no, I'm not even sure that's good.
Yeah. I'm still of the opinion that the tests are nice and fine and dandy, but let's just smoke one, figure it out. Figure it out. I mean, a lot of times you sit there and smoke one, and you're gonna pick one that might be lower THC than fast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And the one I like might not be the one you like.
True. Oh, I've been drinking coffee all day. Well, half the day. I had some dental work done earlier. Fucking crown. Got a temporary crown today, but they
Nice.
took the fuck out of that tooth. Temporarily fixed her up anyway. I got a nice little chuckle from that. Yeah. Made the like temporary, right? Made the little imprint. Made me like a little temporary. I took it out, cleaned it up a little bit, put it in there, and they're like, "How's that feel?" Like, pretty bad. And they do the bite down side to side on the little piece of paper there, grind it down. So tape pops it out, grinds it down. Spends about like 10 minutes after that trying to put it back in and flip that thing like around like a fucking Rubik's Cube and couldn't figure out how to put that fucker in there. And finally, huh? Tap, 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 tap. How's that? I'm like, not even close. Pull it back out. Oh shit, it's upside down. Fuck about another 10 minutes. Like, oh, that's kind of funny. Thank you for that. Yeah. Pretty good dentist. Not really. Whatever. It'd make no work of fucking grinding that bitch out of there. Never had dental work done. How do you feel about that dentist drill? It's kind of a weird sound when you know it. You can feel it in your brain or in your jaw there while they're drilling.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I know I gotta have some work done already, but I also gotta pay for it, so it's
Well, they're trying to fucking talk me into a fucking implant up here, which I wouldn't mind, but then I'm gonna have that awkward time where I'll have a fucking just metal sticking out of there or whatever. No tooth in the stud that I'm like
they do a heel cap. I had one done. So yeah, that's weird.
yeah.
That's a weird feeling, man. Like they got like they basically drill a little hole in your fucking jawbone or And they got a little plug that goes in, like self taps into your jawbone, and then they let that heal. So then while that's healing, they put a fucking, just designed to let your bone grow back into it, basically. It anchors in your jaw, and then after the time that heals, and they pull they unthread that healing cap, and then they thread the stud on, and they can put the tooth on. Yeah, they crank that self tapper in. It was like, hear the ratchet going and shit. I'm like,
does it sound like an impact and shit?
Yeah. Like, take it easy, bro. I feel it, man.
Yeah. My stepmom just had some of that shit done, and her bone had receded a lot actually, from what I was told. So they had to go in and they added bone. Don't ask me the process or yeah, that's by me. But I know they added bone all the way around, so they had something to attach to. I was like, oh, so
Self tappers through that to.
yeah, add the bone, heal up, and then go back and put the fucking drill into that, put that in, and then that heal up, and then the implants. Like a year into that shit, man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a process. The dentist. I haven't done it in a while. I know I gotta go.
We're in different directions on that drink. I just noticed that. I'm all chugging coffee. You got the alcohol. Teach their own. Cheers. I'll take a cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers. Enjoy my beer at night. If I drink more than two, I'm buzzing big time. You know, like I don't know. Even after one, I'll be like watching it, especially smoking.
Well, I'm sure if I drank two these days, I'd probably be pretty buzzed off. It's been a pretty long time for me, I'm sure.
When's the next
You,
event?
the next event? Oh well, the next like rally thing is the 28th here in Michigan in the Capitol, the Harvest Rally, which I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. I mean, a little ballsy. We'll see how this goes.
Having speakers there and stuff, or
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is supposed to be like business as normal. I mean, booths. I know they're gonna have booths. I mean, vendors. There's supposed to be vendors. All that. I believe there is. I'm seeing. A competition. I don't know how that's going, but I know there is somewhat of a cup or whatever. So I don't know how this is going. So, should be pretty interesting, really.
yeah, right. This is the 28th.
Yeah, yeah. Then go out and support the caregivers. That's where that's supposed to be about. For real.
Yeah, that's pretty. Like you say, that is pretty ballsy if they're gonna have booths and stuff there.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna play out. I may show up and see. I may just walk around and see how the fuck's going on myself.
I haven't been to the Capitol ones too much. Rallies and whatnot. Probably should.
How far is that for you, Lansing?
About an hour.
It's a Thursday too, I believe. 28th. I think that's a Thursday.
And I for sure won't make it. Used up all my days off on a wedding we gotta go to in October here. My niece is getting married,
Nice.
so drive down to Texas.
Right now. Texas, you gotta go to Texas for the wedding?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
it's time of year for it.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Things are winding down here. Why not to go somewhere where it's nice?
Yeah, not hopefully not 120-degree weather nice. Like, I'm good with it being 80s, 90s. You know, good with that.
I was kind of bummed that the kid wasn't able to make it out to the Freedom Rally this year. That was looked like a really good time. I ain't got no complaints though, man. This year has been a good year. I've been able to get out and do a lot this year. No complaints.
It's been a good summer. It's not over yet. We're supposed to have 80 degrees this weekend. So.
I've seen that, but yeah, I guess that'd be my only complaint would be that it went by so fast. Is that a good or bad thing? That's whatever.
It did go by fast, right? Looking back on it though, we had a pretty good vegetable year. Started off with some struggles. I had to replant everything twice. So.
What did the best this year?
Tomatoes and beans. Got a lot of those. Peppers, not so much. We got some peppers, but not real crazy.
Do you think that was conditions or a nutrient thing on the peppers?
Oh, it was just conditions. They got a late start. And we're in a new row, so they were like basically set on cardboard and buried with like 4 or 5 inches of dirt.
I don't know.
So they did all right for all things considered. Next year will be a little better. I've been chasing around a hole in the fence. The rabbits were getting in, eating some of our shit, so then our little dog can find his way in there. So every time I plug the hole, I wait for him. We see him in the garden, we know the rabbits can get in, so we got to figure out where he got in.
So do you have a harvest ritual? Do you just let it all die out? Till under, or you know what I mean? Flip it in the spring. Throw some amendments down in the fall, or do you add amendments in the spring?
I had them in the spring. I haven't really gotten a ritual. I kind of play it by roll the punches as they come. But yeah, a lot of the vegetative stuff goes in a compost pile. And then, like, this year I was thinking I might get some bales of hay and try to actually cover the beds with hay and actually put something kind of an amendment down and then cover them with straw.
I know. If somebody could probably tell us about how that rally went. What's up, Seth? What's up?
What up, weed nerds? So I'm actually here to pitch. You know what I mean? Pitch Fest coming soon. So the Freedom Rally, 34th annual Freedom Rally got fucked up by Hurricane Lee that actually never showed up. There wasn't even a puddle left behind. You know what I mean? So they didn't cancel it. they postponed it to Sunday because it was Saturday. Mendo Dope was supposed to be headlining this thing. They couldn't make it. Just they couldn't stay on Sunday. You know what I mean? So they tried whatever they could do for us and found a spot for the Weed Nerds to come and listen to the band play and shit. Chill. Fucking, where the hell were the Weed Nerds? That's why I came to bitch. Where the fuck are all the East Coast Weed Nerds? No one showed up.
No.
No one. Me, martial artist, my wife, my buddy, and this dude, Mr. Bonds, and T-Dog.
What up, East
Pretty
Coast?
awesome.
So apparently, if I want to hang around, if I want to hang around with Weed Nerds, I think I'm gonna have to take the pilgrimage to Michigan next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mendo is definitely
Oh,
building new. And we said a little bit here the first few events. Smiley, you were at Mendo in the Michigan. Like the first one that they really had headline. And there were some people there, but it wasn't like huge. The last event, man, they were here and they throw down pretty good. We're definitely building a following here in Michigan for sure. And I agree with you, man. It takes the Weed Nerds to support, keep them fucking wanting to come back. If you don't support them, then have a hard time coming back. There's a lot of cool motherfuckers out. Wow. Cheers. What are you smoking on tonight?
I'm smoking on Purple Turban from Miss Joe. It's a headband crossed with a purple Afghan Kush. The shit's actually really good.
Yeah, that one always sounded fire. But I'm a sucker for headband, dude. I had an old school headband that was like a hookup. I was buying it from the guy that was growing, and it was so killer. So never find it.
Yeah, this is nice and potent too. I like it.
Yeah, stuff can be named headband, but it ain't that.
Yeah, we had to make the best of the Freedom Rally thing yesterday. It was a beautiful day yesterday. I think that people didn't, because there wasn't as many people, maybe probably because of the switch around of the days or whatever, but it was still good.
Nice. You see anybody on Sunday?
I seen, yeah, I ran it actually so this was kind of cool. So the Freedom Rally is no ages, it's no tickets. You can go there as a 12-year-old kid with your buddies. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So I brought my son, he's 17 and a half. And he's never been to a cannabis event. Obviously, he was like kind of blown away. He was like, to a kid, it's like going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory type shit or something. You know what I mean? So he ended up breaking off with his buddies that were there because his buddies go to college in Boston, and he ended up coming back later on. He couldn't even walk. Big time lightweight. He took too many dabs, did too many edibles. You know what I mean?
Really out of it.
Yeah, he was wrecked.
Welcome to the party. Yeah, the edibles will get you real quick at them events. Start eating those. Especially like rookies on the scene. They start, oh yeah, sure, free sample. About an hour later, they're just like out of it.
Look, I lost my nephew at one. First one I ever took him to, same thing. Fucking, he got into them edibles. The next thing I know, he was gone. I found him like 4 hours later, fucking all hot.
The edibles.
He had a good time. Shit, I've done it. I got lost as fuck one time in a fucking High Times one year. I forget what year it did. but they had an edible village in the center of
Dog.
and fucking I wandered in. I tried edible after edible after edible, got high as fuck, and told myself, like taking notes as I'm like going through because I was had intentions of buying edibles that day, right? So I wandered through and I'm like testing, yeah, these are awesome. And I'm like taking notes mentally or trying to. Yeah, those were good. I'm gonna get, a couple packs of those. These are good. I'm gonna get a couple of those. I wandered through, fucking wander out, wander around the fucking event, and then wander back into the village where again I'm assaulted, not in a good way, with edible after edible after edible, and I'm wandering around trying to find the shit that I liked. And I literally could. I'm like wandered around, didn't find half the shit I wanted to get the. I go back the fucking next day after in Silver Up some, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was like right there. Oh yeah, and there. Just I don't know how I missed it. That in the highness of the edibles, but yeah, I totally got fucked up. Didn't get nothing I wanted the first day. I didn't get nothing I actually wanted until the second day when I went back somewhat sober and could find the shit that I liked. Yeah, I've been tore up at some of them events. Tore up.
I've always had to drive, so I stay away from smoke. I know I can smoke quite a bit. Still be good, Or let me eat something, I'll be good.
That's the thing. I'll go with samples, but I'm not necessarily trying to get fucked up. I'm the same way. Fucking Kyle Cultivation. Every time we go there, Miss Carla, Crispy Tree Kitchen's there with a fucking pickle eating contest, and them pickles are dangerous anyway. But that's the same thing I tell her every time she tries to call me and get me over there. Fucking man, I gotta be functionable. I can't be gorging on pickles and passing out and shit. I gotta drive. I gotta post it.
Sleep for a day and a half.
Unfucker take you like now too. I would like to understand the science on the pickle thing, but I don't get it, to be honest with you.
It's gotta be some with the vinegar.
I agree. So any of that stuff looks pretty close to harvest back there. What you got going in the room?
I actually took the tops of this today, and then the tops of this one.
And your herbs now, I gotta wait for mine.
They're in the herbs. Scott actually said he was going to hook me up with a free one. It's cool. See if he really does. I got to roll a try by Sunday because it's a crowd pleaser. Some chili bean lime. I forget what the hell happened to it. Some Maureen's mustache, Cindy 99 back here. The row of Cindy. I kind of fucked everything up, so I started getting some yellow and leaves here. I added some Mr. B's. Well, it should fix it up.
You
Chili bean bubble gum.
Use the bloom formula or what?
What's that?
Mr. B's, like what are you using there? So they have a few different mixes. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I got a sack right here. Fuck. I'd have to dig it out.
Oh, don't do that.
Got a thing here too, a bucket of it. That's the 555 right there.
Okay. I just had to top dress mine for flower. That's why I was wondering.
Oh, I rep the Subcool too. I wore my Subcool shirt. to the Mendo show. I had to take my shirt off and wear the subcool one for the Weed Nerd song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. T-Dog's badass. That's awesome. You got to hang out with him.
Yeah, I actually never met T-Dog, and he's been around a few times, so it was kind of cool to meet him, and he's really a life of the party at that little spot we were at. He brought some energy to the place. Actually, so he was going to go up on stage. He was about to go up on stage, and at the Freedom Rally yesterday, and I was like, bro, these people are all sleeping. You gotta fucking wake them up, like the people in the crowd. So the host accidentally said he had pre-rolls to throw out, but they were really the hemp wicks. So the crowd fucking rushed the stage thinking he was throwing pre-rolls out. You know what I mean? It was like seagulls swarming. So he actually got everyone awake and ran over. So when he got off, he's like, I got him awake, huh? And I was like, hell yeah, you did.
That's dope.
What was your favorite song they did? They're all good, but I mean, it's a stupid question.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
Everybody's got a favorite.
I don't know.
They do some of the new stuff.
They didn't do any of the new stuff off of it. I thought they were gonna too. They were supposed to come do a show during the day, and then come back and do a show at a different spot at night. And then they just never came at the night one. I don't know what the hell happened. That kind of was disappointing because we kind of let them after the show. We wanted to go grab something to eat. We figured they'd pack their shit up, head on over to the new place, and then we can like chill and get pictures and all that. And instead, they kind of just took off and never to be seen again. And we were like, fuck.
Oh, shit. They didn't hang out? Like, usually they're hanging out.
No, that was our fault because we didn't hang out. We went and left to get something to eat, thinking they were coming to the next show because they were supposed to. You know what I mean? And then we'd hang out then, and that didn't happen. So it was a big fuck up. The whole weekend was kind of a big fucking mess. Everything was put together last second because of the weather. It really fucked everything up.
Well, in that aspect, you know, you got to give some credit here. I mean, they fucking natural disaster. Still, you know,
still played.
And tuck and roll made it happen. You know, that's pretty.
Hell yeah. No, I'm not talking about bad about Mendo. They went out of their way to try to find spots for us to because they wanted to come here and play. The people that had the venue posted up saying that they've never seen artists so pissed off that they couldn't play for their people. So they must have made a big deal that like they really wanted to play. They found the spots and then fucking no one showed up. Come on now, East Coast weed nerders.
Yeah, they always good time, that's for sure. Well, you can always come to Michigan, as you said. We throw down here.
I'm just waiting for Marshall to drive back up again.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, Marshall was there and he repped the Weed Nerd World shirt, like you've seen in the chat. I was a witness.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Marshall. Yeah, fucking, how long of a drive is it for you to Michigan from New York?
I think Marshall said it was like 13 hours or something crazy for him, or maybe even longer.
Oh, shit.
He's like 2 hours from me.
Worth it. Come for a camping event. Stay the weekend. Party down.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be cool. We're gonna have to plan that, like event where everybody can drive out for.
I think it would be sick.
Yeah.
And I can drive, so I can bring my goods instead of fly. And leave it behind.
Right?
I like to drive. I don't know. I just like to drive. I like the scenic route. I don't know if it's just me getting older, you know what I mean, and just wanting to take my time and see the country, or yeah, these days driving don't bother me for a long distance. You can see some cool shit.
I don't mind driving, but I'd fly. Not bad. You gotta go like West Coast or something in the car.
I'm not opposed to flying. I like to fly. I like the experience being in the plane, all that good shit. It's just the fucking layovers and shit like that you don't see coming and shit, and you get
Getting
stuck.
jammed up, sitting in those seats all smashed up. That shit fucks my back up the planes.
I spent fucking 10 hours in a fucking Denver because of fucking toilet seat or some shit.
Yeah, that's
Seriously, man. I was like, come on, man. How about in a fucking just do not use sign and let's go? They weren't having it. Out of order.
shit, man. I'm gonna have to get ready for the rest of the week. But always good to see you. Good to see you around, Miranda and stuff.
Yeah, you too, Smiley.
Yeah, man. Hope you guys have a good week.
You too, bro.
Peace.
Thanks for popping on.
Yeah.
So all right. So what would you have changed about the Freedom Rally? If you could have changed anything? I mean, perfect world. Let's say
Perfect world, we would have left it on the day it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? I think it sounds like a lot of people switched, um, like they had day off and they can't take a Sunday off if they were working. It sounded like there was a lot of shit like that, family things. So people that were planning on going Saturday couldn't make it Sunday, like Mendo. You know what I mean? It's just it was that was the big thing, was the day of the change. And it sucks because it was breezy, but it wasn't super windy. There was no rain.
So would you've like improved it as far as you know how it was? Was it in the same place? Did they
It's
move?
always it's always in the Boston Commons. It's in a public park, so it's completely illegal to smoke in the public park in Massachusetts. What you're doing is you're lighting up in civil disobedience and protest. You know what I mean? And that's what the Freedom Rally is all about. So it's all outdoors. So and they plan the date a year ahead of time. So planning an event at the beginning of like right in the middle of hurricane season, that doesn't really work out. it's it's hit or miss.
Right now. Always anymore, like, because eventually, I wouldn't. I don't even know if I'd want to call it an event. I'd like to have a gathering of some sorts someday.
That would be even cooler.
But as I go to these events now, that's like something I look at every event. I'm like, what were the highlights of this event? What was the shitty part of this event? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take notes as I go along to for notes for a successful event
In
gathering.
order in order to have a successful event, promoting of the event and letting people know that there is such a thing is like huge. And the people that run the social media over here for the Freedom Rally did a real piss poor job. So that takes into fact of who's coming and who ain't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people might not even have got the memo that it was postponed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing I would have changed. You gotta be once you know, you gotta be right on top of that when you find out it is something major of a whole changing of a day or something. You gotta be right on that, letting it on all social medias and shit.
Well, what I've already kind of come to see, like even from a simple, hangout with Mr. Smiley, this last weekend there. Fucking thank you, Mr. Smiley, for the invite and come hang out, which was super cool. But we were thinking about the whole time, even pre, yeah, kind of threw out there, should we be trying to include the weed nerds and all that good shit? And we were like, let's test run it. And as we just went down the river and it stopped several times, you know what I mean? Give me a break.
Yeah.
How do you coordinate that with like 50 fucking people that just want to fucking smoke doobies and shit? How you pull over 50 fucking canoes and shit that's like, yeah, over here, God. Yes. Yeah. You throw something across the river and just like slingshot them into fucking shore and shit. So I don't, there's little things you don't really think of when you fucking go, oh yeah, let's do this. There's a lot of little things that,
The gathering thing would be a sick idea because it's cool to hang around with like-minded people that smoke weed or whatever. But it's a completely different to hang around with weed nerds. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
yeah, we smoke a little bit of weed.
We smoke a little bit of weed just like everyone else, but
My favorite part of that little trip was we stopped and had a little smoke down, and some folks passed us, and then they stopped. We passed them, right? Their little group stops and they're doing whatever the fuck, which was kind of funny because we stopped and like they had 50 fucking 55, I'll say 500 feet was like a perfect stopping spot. They must knew the river because they stopped there, snagged that shit up. So we get done with our little doobie section, jumping our canoes, and we kind of fucking leapfrog them. Doo-doo. They're all chilling. And we fucking decide, well, what the fuck? Doobie break. It wasn't even that far from the last spot, you know what I mean? So we're sitting there fucking like catch a tree, right? We're just like holding the canoes together, smoking and shit. And here they come again. Like a few minutes later, like, really? That's as far as you guys made it? We're smoking more weed? So So that's what I kind of see, that's the way weed nerds roll like that, man. I can see too much of that. Not too much. There's never too much of that, but a lot of that.
well, I fucking seem to chain smoke when I go to like events or like meetups and shit like that. I like to pass stuff out too, and I want everyone to be smoking constantly.
Well, I yet to be to any event where the weed nerds were involved that we smoked the whole entire time. We usually come with backpacks and cases. I almost a 90% of the time almost feel bad a little bit for the venue because we come so prepared. You know what I mean? We get up and buy just support, but we sit down with better than or more than. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're prepared. Usually, a lot of times, man, I'm guilty, and I know a lot of people that hang out in the weed nerd world. As soon as we find that table, we might not even see the rest of the event. Yeah. We get there, spend half the day, and be like, oh my God, I gotta stretch my legs. I haven't even been a quarter way around yet. Yeah. Shit, I think I'm gonna wander around for a second. I'll be back. Fucking just, yeah. That's the way the weed nerds roll. We have the tendencies to make the event our own little event, that's for sure.
Hell yeah. See, we need more weed nerds on the East Coast to come so we can make our own event. That's why we're gonna have to go over there. It'd be cool, like to have Mendo come to the gathering, to the Weed Nerd gathering too, because
Said they
like
would.
Blind Cat's in the chat right now, and me and him talk on the phone. We got Mendo Dope playing in the background and shit. He knows every word just like I do. You know what I mean? It's cool to be like around people like that.
They said if I ever put together a Weed Nerd event, they would come.
Hell yeah.
On tape. It's on tape. It's on video. They've said it. We've got them committed.
Yep.
No, they would though. I believe they have, without a doubt. But besides that, I think it would be fucking cool just to like not even have the stage. I mean, we'd have the stage, but there's so many fucking talented weed nerds, man. We could do a bonfire jam and freestyle sesh for like they could freestyle and fucking thump it, but man, we could do the campfire thing, the fucking acoustic guitars and all that shit. I believe that could a freestyle jam could fucking go on all night long, easily.
Well, actually, now that you bring that up too, so I had two plans. Now that Mendo wasn't going to play yesterday at the Freedom Rally, first plan was me and martial artists can go up on stage and pretend we're Mendo, because most people don't even know who the fuck Mendo Dope is over here, apparently. And we can just lip sync the words like Milli Vanilli, and ain't no one even know that they can, right? And the other plan was me, martial artist, and Smashed go up on stage and just do an ill dance freestyling and shit rap. But apparently none of that worked out either. We were trying though.
Yeah, you're right. It sucks that here cannabis is so open, but yet we don't have like a cannabis radio or like cannabis mainstream music isn't fucking mainstream. That music, just because it's got cannabis, I'd put that shit next to anything else I fucking hear on the radio. You know what I mean? I enjoy listening to that just as much as I do everything. So why can't it be played alongside anything else? They play fucking. You know what? Who the fuck is that? God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine. How can that be played on air? You know what I mean? How can that be played on the air? But Mendo Dope can't rap about fucking cannabis or growing cannabis on a commercial station. That's bullshit, And that's where they're being held back. They're an amazing band, but we need to find a way to get that commercial push for them.
I go to a lot of shows, and some people sound good when they're on an album, but then live they sound like shit. You know what I mean? Mendo Dope actually sounds good. I think maybe even better live. You know what I mean? The whole band going. They did a really good job the other Saturday.
They've put on a great show every time I've seen them. I've seen them quite a few times now. I've been blessed to see them quite a few times. That's for sure. But yeah, starting to build a good. Michigan has built a good relationship with Mendo Dope. They enjoy coming this way nowadays. So.
Oh yeah, I have a like a DJ speaker out that I have in my kitchen that I bring on my back deck outside, blast like Mendo Dope through the whole neighborhood. Like the ice cream place across from me's listening to it. Shit. Wu-Tang and Mendo blasting over the fence.
Need to almost. So they've got a street team, but we need to become active Weed Nerd Mendo Dope street team members. Just take shit to the dispos and shit like that, flyers and shit like that.
Well, I put my work in over here. I started the project of trying to get Mendo over here in January. I harassed the Freedom Rally people, emails, phone calls, and everything because they're a pain in the ass to get a hold of.
So are there any other events coming up before the cold?
Yeah, so I got September 30th, so it's like 12 days. It's called the Cultivators Cup. It's in the state of Rhode Island, and it's licensed facilities doing a competition. I'm not really there for that, but I'm there for like the after party shows, which are always cool. And last year it was Bone Thugs and Busta Rhymes. The year before it was like Redman, Method Man, and Cypress Hill. We're always like there's like a couple hundred people there tops, so like we're always front row, which is sick. This year it's going to be inside of a consumption lounge, so it'll be indoors. You can smoke in there and shit, and it's going to be DJ Mathematics from the Wu-Tang Clan, and he's going to do some sort of a Wu-Tang experience is what it's called. So I actually just bought the tickets today, so we're definitely locked in on going. And then there's a thing called the What, and I don't know what the What is, because I didn't know what that was last year until it already went by, and I didn't even know that was a thing. So this year we're gonna go because it's in the town next door to me, it's local, and but I just have no idea what it is. It has to do with cannabis, and then there's art. You can smoke there. There's like all the sponsors. A lot of the sponsors are like local dispensary cultivation facility things and stuff like that. I have no clue what it is. So I go to a lot of these cannabis events, and there's two different types of cannabis events. There's a cannabis event where there's like the normal cannabis consuming people and like cool people, and then this other industry events where it's like bud tenders and people like that, and they're kind of like not the same as us. They're like a younger crowd, and I don't know that they seem to like party differently.
Differently how?
Well, first of all, there's a shitload of alcohol going on and little to no cannabis going on, which is fucking weird. And it's not like they don't talk about like what we talk about, like growing and smoking and shit. I don't know what the fuck they do. It's just weird. I think they just show up and like play like dress up is what it looks like.
That's weird. I'll give you that. That's weird.
They got their own clique. The industry people are their own shit. You know what I mean?
So, man, I really dream of some days in cannabis. Like we're coming up on like the apple orchard days. You know what I mean? That time of year where you take that fucking ride and you fucking enjoy the leaves, and you go to that fucking apple orchard that's fucking way out in the fucking nowhere. And you buy some cider and some of their apples. I can't wait till we're at a point in cannabis to where we could make that same ride out to, a harvesting farm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking edibles, buy some fucking fresh flour, dry fresh. You know what I mean? What we're talking about. That year's, whatever. Fucking just treat it in the same type of experience, fucking ride a fucking what do you call it, like a wagon ride through the fucking fields and shit, and look at some of the plants.
Hell yeah. Fucking
Awesome, man.
cannabis fucking corn maze type shit.
That would be pretty awesome and shit. You'd have to would like the charas be like just a takeaway from like stumble. Just
People be walking out of there with swollen pockets and shit. Buds hanging out of them. Fucking.
But you could take that same experience though. Again, this is one of them fucking I hate ideas because I put out there, but we need to repurpose a lot of our fucking favorite things we love because we're losing a lot of fucking really cool shit. So why same like what we're talking about right now? Maybe not make the maze. It isn't a cannabis maze, but let's say the hayride to the fucking maze they pass out some fucking pre-rolls, get you all fucking stoned up, or maybe some dab stations inside the maze to fucking help confuse you a little bit. And then they had, fun stuff of people running out and fucking with you and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh
Why
yeah.
means, there's so many things that because of COVID and, just people don't like to get out to do as much shit as they like to, you know what I mean? So to get people, and it takes something as simple as cannabis, because I think these events are losing steam because there's just so many, you know what I mean? And then at one point they were super fucking special because they were only 4 a fucking year, 6 a year, you know what I mean? So we planned on that shit, they banked on that shit, but now it's like event after event after event. Things are slowing or evening out quite a bit. And so I think the events or shit like that, or just the entertainment side of things of cannabis needs a little, here you go, fun, a little reinvigorating. So what I'm thinking about it and I'm talking about is like these spots that are being demoed in your small towns. You know what I mean? That bowling alley, that fucking roller skate rink. You know what I mean? You add
Hmm.
cannabis to bowling. I've talked about this the other day. Fucking that little where you sit with bowling, that little dab station right there, or something like that. Fucking, that would reinvigorate that building, that business. Fun for people to get out and do things. Roller
They
skate.
had something like that over here. It was like a fucking uh it was like a lit up like bowling, like with lights and shit, but it was cannabis friendly. You can smoke in there. And I think they served alcohol. It was mostly industry people there, but it looked fun.
Putt
It
golf.
looked way funner than the actual just regular bowling. That made it. It was like a light show going on and all kinds of shit. It was sick, actually.
Fucking putt golf, man. I'm seeing a lot of them things being fucking knocked down as well. Fucking putt golf, you get somebody walking around selling pre rolls. You know what I mean? Pre roll, fuck yeah. Get people smoking while they're fucking putt golfing and shit. It's a lot of cool shit that, instead of being knocked down, we could, have fun and revisit our past, our childhood a little bit, have some fucking fun. I'd strap on some skates. I'd fucking, I'd do all the above. I don't like to golf, or I don't, excuse me, I don't like to bowl that much. But fuck, if you let me smoke joints in the building, you know what I mean? Have some fun. I'm willing to show up and fucking bowl.
Shit, the laws are still obviously clearly all fucked up, but we did come a long way because I fucking had the old silver bracelet handcuffs on me 4 times for weed. And to be like martial artists said this with the Freedom Rally, like there was just fucking people with babies, little kids of all, literally everything for all ages, every boy, girl, and all. It was a mix of everybody. People on stage yelling about weed, everyone's smoking. The cops are everywhere. Not one person got arrested or in trouble. You know what I mean? And I brought my own grown weed, that medicine that I fucking grew, and smoked it in front of cops, and they didn't care. And it was that. It is fucking kind of cool. You know what I mean? But there is a long way to go. But to even have any event is fucking pretty incredible.
Would that be something easier to do? I mean, New York right now, anywhere you can smoke a cigarette. I mean, so could you pull that off easier right now in New York than anywhere else just because of
Probably, probably.
how
I
can
don't
you?
know why. How can New York be the only state to do that, and we all suck now? We're still confined to our yards or some private shit.
It's fucking retarded. It's retarded. It's
That's
retarded.
why I'm saying the laws are still super fucked up, but they're better than they were before. Not by much, but better than they were before.
For now. That's the only thing for now.
For
You know,
now.
we go federal, or like we've talked about, or what the upcoming Schedule 3, possible Schedule 3. That shit could change tomorrow. And I've honestly kind of warned about that a long time ago. Things are good and great. There's been multiple resets in each state. You know what I mean? From medical, the way medical was handled, cowboy days, to the caregivers, to the fucking provisioning centers, now to the recreational things. Each time it's weeded out somebody else. Now now that we've got that, and now it's mainly, some people money. It's a money game right now. You know what I mean? Federal comes into play. That's going to be one more fucking weeding out of everybody. You know what I mean? If I were to put balls in, I wouldn't even think about until it's all leveled out legal or fucking decriminalized. We're all still risking a washing out. The federal government can come in at any time and go, yeah, cannabis is legal, but we're not going to do it the way you do it anymore. Everybody else's license and shit like that, null and void. If you want to handle it our way, there's a new way to fucking roll. And it could weed out a lot. And that could be the only people that are in the game at that point are the motherfuckers that lobbied for it. Big pharma, tobacco, alcohol. And then all the people that made money on the way up, they're gonna fucking bail out because no, they're not gonna reset this time. They already made the money, they're gonna bail. Big Pharma wins. See you later. And then they're gonna reset all the rules on us. Nobody will be able to grow shit like that. We're all still, we can only cherish the moments we have, but until the feds step in, we're risking a reset at any fucking time. Sad but true.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we Danny Danko was at the thing. They had like an education stage off to the side, so they had people coming on, little panels, individuals, and nobody was
12 and 1, how that fits in.
Oh yeah, we actually they there was nobody sitting there, so me, my wife, and martial artists actually went and sat over there and made them have an audience. They were teaching us how to germinate a seed.
Nice.
And somehow it took like 3 hours, and like Mendo Dope wrapped it up in like one verse on how to grow a plant.
That's funny.
But
Yeah.
we showed some love over there. I got my I walked up to Danny. I was like, "Let me get my annual picture, bro. You already know."
I skipped the picture, went to video this year.
I fucked up. I fucked up then. I forgot to get pictures. My wife got a couple pictures, but I got like no pictures again.
Yeah.
I did do a live on Instagram with Mendo though. And, actually, Marshall helped with that, and my wife. We all took turns holding the phone.
Nice. But that's one thing I give fucking Mendo mad props for is fucking, as much shit as they've done in cannabis and whatever, that shit, none of this has went to their heads. They are still some down to earth, cool motherfuckers. Yeah.
They would have been perfect to be on the stage at the Freedom Rally because, like in between songs or at the beginning of the song, they'll say stuff, like advocating for the plant. You know what I mean? They don't just sing the song; they'll say shit and then sing the song. You know what I mean? You know, and that's like a big thing is like sinking it into. There was a guy on stage when we first got there, and my son was like kind of blown away at the whole situation. But there's a guy on stage saying, "You want to know how to get the cops to not fuck with us with the weed? Get them to smoke the weed." You know what I mean? They're gonna see it ain't bad. Instead, he was just like up there yelling, just being stupid or whatever. My kid's like, "You hear what he's saying?" This is kind of weird. But he's up there yelling. People are listening.
And cheers to anybody that's still doing that, man. They're like we were talking about, the work's not done. The message isn't out all the way.
No, there's still people that hate on this shit. Straight hate it. They look at it like the fucking egg frying still.
It's sad. It really is. And it's the people that are, older folks, our law enforcement and stuff like that, that are still unwilling to open their minds up about, the plant, the powers of it. That stigma is still there and very real for a lot of people. That's for sure. Even here in Michigan, man, there's people terrified to smoke in public. I almost got in trouble myself for smoking at the Walmart the other day. I forget that people are still very offended about cannabis, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe, even the smell. I can't.
Oh, I have a story about the smell. I think I've said it on the show before, but I walked into a GNC with my brother-in-law, and we only took like 2 hits each in the car right before we walked in. And I think it was like out of a bowl, so our fingers didn't even stink or anything, you know what I mean? And this lady, we walked in there, this lady ran across the store and damn near drop kicked the door open to prop the door open, started yelling, "We got a nurse in here and she's trying to go to college and you're reeking the whole fucking place up." You know what I mean? Hating on the weed smell. And I was like, "Listen, bitch, I got a fucking medical card. This is my medicine." Well, it turned into a big thing. She kicked me out of the damn store over the smell. My wife actually fucking because we went to the other end of my town, went to a GNC, got the stuff I needed, and then my wife emailed the people, and that lady got shit canned. Actually, fuck that lady.
I fucking during the last, fucking COVID bullshit, I purposely wore that shit like perfume. They said it helped. I'm like, like weed, damn yeah, I'm trying to protect you and me. That cough is from weed, not COVID. Thank you. I smoked one before I came in. Protect us both.
My wife and kids got COVID. I didn't, because they didn't smoke enough weed. It's as simple as that. I put my deodorant on, my weed stank, before I go into any store, because I got to deal with the people in there. So that's my only way.
The terp profile on you is like the natural terp profile in nature. I think it just COVID smells it and goes away. It's
Even if you're not smoking like skunky, we could just be smoking like some fruity ass shit, but it's gonna come off on our clothes to someone who doesn't smoke as some straight fucking skunky nasty. You know what I mean? I tell them if they don't like it, don't breathe. If you don't like the look of it, don't look.
I used to have relatives that came to my house and would bitch about the house smell like weed. I'd be like, you came to my house, right? Of course, you should expect it and prepare for it to smell like weed. So if you don't have a problem with it, we can go talk outside.
It's gonna smell like weed out there too, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I respect you in your home, but not if you're coming to mine. You better understand it's gonna smell like weed before I even open the door. It's fair assumption. It's a fair assumption.
When I first moved into my house, my best friend, his girl, she's my wife's best friend. I actually hooked him up, but she came over and delivered what I consider a fucking hate speech on fucking weed in my kitchen to my kids, and her kids were there. And she was straight fucking just say no Nancy Reagan shit in my kitchen. And I was fucking pissed. And then it took a little bit, but you fast forward like I think it was like 2 years. She's wearing my shirt. We're doing community cleanups. You know what I mean? She's going to fuck. She came to the Freedom Rally before. She came to like events with me. So it's kind of cool. One person at a time, if that's all, if that's what it takes.
So the Freedom Rally is the second oldest cannabis event in the United States, right?
It is second to Seattle. Seattle was like literally a couple years before. I think Seattle was like 1991.
Right on. Well, the hash pass is what, almost 50 years, right? 50 years.
Yeah, but I think Seattle is kind of like the Freedom Rally, and what from what I understand is to be more of like a protested styled thing. Over like the hash bash seems to be more of like a uh what is it actually? I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Well, that is the fucking problem these days. That's a huge part of the problem these days, in my opinion, because it was like a protest freedom rally to get John Sinclair out of jail. And at that point, that it was a legalized weed rally. We went and supported all that shit. And then in time, that event has went from that to the Hash Bash Cup, which now people associate one with the other. It's kind of like, and so now that the cup is taking place, you go down to the square the same day and you fucking see crickets. And you go to the event and then you see all kinds of people partying, having it up. You know, no, again, you'll see music. You don't really hear too much about, cannabis activism, the medical side of cannabis. You don't
They
hear.
lost sight of what was important.
Yeah, so it's a total money making event. It isn't a political event or message anymore. It's broke down to a big party, and that kind of again that pisses me off, because now we're taking it to a money making thing when we were fighting for freedom, activism, the message, supposedly. When you went down to that square, I went down to that square when I was fucking young. I started going down there in the fucking 90s and fucking defying the law, lighting that joint up, looking around all fucking paranoid. They fucking, because when I went, as the four corners of the diag, there was cops standing there watching everybody smoke your weed, cup your joint, and fucking. It wasn't like today where we go and fucking just
Openly
smoke.
smoke, yeah.
Yeah, you cup that joint and you know what I mean. You blew it out. You were a message. Your message was being there, and that puff you let out in the air, but you were fucking open. And you didn't get arrested on the
Yeah.
way out.
That's how it was in 96 when my first freedom rally. I was 18 and everything was still illegal. I think California just went medical, and the cops surround the place. They actually didn't fuck with anyone that I seen though, but taking a hit and blowing a loco. There was an EMS guy, but he had a badge on, and I was still nervous smoking behind him, and he had nothing to do with anything. And we were like yesterday, and I don't know. It's just because of being illegal longer than it's been. How long? When did Michigan go rec?
Rec? How long has it been for rec? 19? I think 2019. It was
I think
medically 2008. We were medical in 2008, and I believe we went rec in 19, somewhere around that.
I think
No,
we went medical in like the
7,
2012.
17, 2017 here in Michigan, we went recreational.
And we were 1 year before you. We were like, I think we were 16.
So
But
yeah.
since it's been medical or recreational, I'm still nervous. Just from the cops getting me.
November 18th, 2018. Thank you.
Is when it went through. So
Through.
it didn't come into effect 2000.
Yep.
Yeah.
The day that we went rec, I was like, hell yeah, clone cutting time. You know what I mean? We're gonna get everyone to start growing, because the more people that grow, the less people, the less I can get in trouble. Even though it just went legal, it's, I don't know. And I had my medical card since it was the beginning too, but I just been super paranoid with the whole thing because of me being in trouble and my brother pretty much our whole life with damn weed. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing that it is so diverse, though. I mean, the way they break it down for consumption, how it's fucking, how we use it. And, even as we were talking about earlier, we talk about it as medicine. We talk about it as basically smoking it in some type of way, topicals, somewhat of like edibles, but we're not talking about, as we talk about edibles, we're always talking about decarboxylating it or taking it further down the chain. We're not necessarily talking about using it as like juicing it, using it as food or eating it in its own self. There's a lot of benefits to cannabis. In fact, 80% of the medical benefits of cannabis, we're using it, we're flat out using it wrong. So, scientifically we're not done with it, you know what I mean? Even like us as a community, we're not haven't unlocked it. Then where there's the way of taking it to science and breaking it down molecularly, you know what I mean, and compound by compound by compound. There's no other plant that is so versatile and like can be used for so fucking many things. We haven't even unlocked all of the uses of it, man. It's crazy. But
I still think it's crazy the amount of people that smoke compared to the amount of people that grow it.
it's
And that's what there's so very little amount of growers compared to the smokers. And I don't understand why people wouldn't exercise their friggin' right.
because they haven't went through the chance. Even if they would have, somebody would have taken, the people that are on the line there. You take the chance, you throw some seeds outside, you get that one. You enjoy the cannabis plant the one time, the one time you grow it yourself. That's the hook phase, and that just draws you in. I'm quite on record of saying the best parts of cannabis is that cultivation side. But it's just like the same thing as the first time you grow your own fucking tomato. You know what I mean? You bite into that tomato and you're, holy shit, that's not like the shit I buy. Well, there's no difference between that cannabis and the fucking, or that tomato and the cannabis you buy in the dispo. You know, that fucking dispo weed is just as lifeless and fucking nutrient deficient for you as that fucking tomato you buy in the grocery store. So why people don't take the time and enjoy the fucking shit, the benefits, 100% of the benefits and the values of it is crazy. It's just simply crazy that people don't take the time and at least take the adventure. And it goes for anything. Why do we limit ourselves at anything? We like to live in our comfort zone. I can't do that. I can't do that. One time doing it, and you're like, fuck, that was too easy.
My wife's been bringing in all my vegetables to people at her work, and my wife actually, she's like the manager. So she came home, she got a phone call from a couple of her employees. They were literally fighting over cucumbers. You know what I mean? That my wife brought in, which is pathetic because these people can grow their own. I don't understand why they don't. Like you were saying, it's the satisfying of biting into something that you grew yourself, and it tastes so much better, and it's safe.
Yeah.
One person at a time, and I've been trying to do it since I started growing. Get
You know,
as many people as I can to grow food
props to
and
you, bro.
medicine.
You have, just the time that I've known you, you've given out a shit ton of seeds. You know, just through the Weed Nerd world, I've seen you give out a ton of seeds. And I know you outside of this, you give out tons of seeds.
I do. Oh, so that's another thing I want to go over. Back to the fucking growers. So Massachusetts has over 7 million residents, right? And people come from surrounding states too. Guess how many entries were in the fucking Boston Freedom Rally's grow competition? 6. 6 fucking people out of over 7 million entered the competition. That's pathetic. You know what I mean? Where the hell's all the growers? I know all the growers don't enter competitions and shit, but damn.
Yeah. I think it'll come around. It's just, we're gonna lose it, and that's the sad thing about it, buddy. Seth, is if we don't fucking get more people to do this, they'll never be able to experience this. We get to that Schedule 3 and Big Pharma gets their hooks into this. They're not gonna let you grow. They won't let you do it because recreational money will have fucking it's hooks into they're making money. They don't want to fucking you to grow your own. Now, when you start calling it medicine, Big Pharma is going to call you unsafe all day long. They'll call it medicine, but they'll call your medicine unsafe and allow you not to be able to grow your own medicine.
So, like, so.
I don't know. So
Fuck,
we need
I gotta shut the door in there too.
Take that chance, people. Plant some seeds, please.
Yes. Food, medicine, do it all. I'm gonna hop off here though, guys, because I gotta go shut my veg door and then this flower door so I don't fuck anything up here.
It's 11 o'clock anyway, brother. Thank you for hanging out, man.
Thank you for listening to my bitch fest. You know what I mean?
Thank you for the update, man.
All right. Peace out, people. Grow your own. Rainer Feeling Farms out.
Well, that wraps up this episode 821.4. Holy shit, did it go fast. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one as much as I have. I am always grateful for the people that hang out, continue to hang out, and tell people make this thing grow, hang out. You guys mean a lot, that's for sure. You guys, please have a great week. I will see you on Thursday. Enjoy it. Goes fast. Too fast. These nice days are going with the blink of an eye. Get out there, enjoy some sun. Enjoy your week. Most importantly, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. And with that being said,